This is a quick start guide for the Excel skills inventory control template, trade-based. This template enables users to analyze the profitability of any trade-based business by calculating the gross profit margins on all inventory items. So let's start with a stock code sheet. The first step in using this template is to create your stock code. So you'll create a stock code, a unique stock code for every stock item, enter the description and the unit of measure, and then enter your opening quantity and opening cost. If you have opening stock, then you need to enter the quantity and cost. The columns with yellow column headings are user input columns, and the columns with light blue column headings contain formulas and are therefore automatically calculated. You can also enter a from and a to date at the top of the sheet to have your analysis for a specific date range. So in terms of the light blue columns, you have your quantity on hand, average cost, inventory valuation. So that's the value of your inventory at the average cost. And then a more detailed analysis of your quantities in terms of opening quantity, purchased quantity, sold quantity, stock adjustment quantity, and then you have a value section which has opening value, purchase value, cost of sales value, adjustment value, and then a total sales value. So this would be at selling price, where the cost of sales would be at average cost. And then you have a gross profit value and the gross profit percentage. So this is an analysis based on individual stock codes, which you can see on the stock code sheet with totals at the top. So everything is valued in terms of your inventory cost at an average cost. So you can use this sheet to analyze your inventory on an individual stock code basis in terms of profitability. Let's go to the movement sheet. So the inventory movement sheet can be used to record all your inventory transactions. The columns with yellow column headings are user input columns, and the light blue columns are automatically calculated. So the transaction date can be entered based on your regional date settings. The transaction type we provide for purchases, sales, and stock adjustments. Stock adjustments would be adjustments for the quantity as a result of a stock take, or otherwise we determine your on-hand quantity differs from the theoretical stock quantity. Supplier or customer name, document number, then your stock code. So all the stock codes that have been created on the stock code sheet will be available for selection. You enter your transaction quantity. So purchase quantities would be positive values, and sale quantities will be negative. Adjustments can be positive or negative. And then you enter your price per unit. So in purchases, this is your purchase price, which is usually excluding sales tax. And your sales quantity is the actual price that you're selling at. The adjustment quantities or prices you don't need to enter, that's automatically determined. And that's basically the input side. So in terms of calculations, there's a few of these fields, so quantity and average cost calculations, which are done automatically. And I'll just point out on your purchases, there's a purchase price variance, which means that it compares the purchase price that you entered for a purchase transaction to the average cost before the purchase. And then it shows a price variance in terms of value and percentage. Sales transactions, it will take the sales value that you entered, calculate sales value, calculate a cost of sales value based on the average cost at the time of the sale, calculate a gross profit value and percentage. So this section can be used to analyze your profitability when entering sales transactions. So all the yellow are the input columns, and all the light blue columns are automatically calculated, and these columns, the formulas will extend as you enter new transactions into the table. Okay, so let's look at the stock count. This sheet, similarly to the other ones, where you see yellow, that's user input, and light blue is automated. So you enter a count date at the top of the sheet. Based on that count date, the template will determine the theoretical stock quantity and value on hand. So all you need to do is to include your stock codes in column A, or all the stock codes that are on the stock code sheet can be included here. And then you need to enter a quantity counted. So you count your stock and enter your counted quantities here, which will then create a quantity variance if it differs from your theoretical stock, and a value variance. Once you've finalized your stock take, you'll take these quantity variances and record them as stock adjustments on your movement sheet. Okay, so that's your stock take. Let's go to the profitability sheet. So the profitability sheet, you can enter a date range at the top of the sheet. This will determine your month to date and year to date periods. So you can enter from a to date to only have this report run for a specific date range. If you only enter a to date, then your date range will run for all transactions basically from when you started using the template. Alternatively, you enter from date to limited to just a particular period. So that's the 3 columns here. We've got a date range, month to date, and a year to date. And then you have your sales value, cost of sales, to calculate the GP, gross profit value, and a gross profit percentage. We then add the stock adjustments to this calculation to calculate gross profit 2 in terms of value and percentage. So gross profit 2 includes stock adjustment. Gross profit 1 is just cost of sales. The bottom section also has the same measurements in terms of sales, cost of sales, adjustments, gross profit, and gross profit percentage. And that's on a daily basis for the last month. Okay, and that's the profitability sheet. So if you need further guidance on the template, you can go to the instructions sheet where we cover everything in detail. Just one note on the template. This template is only suitable if you buy and sell the same products. So the product that you're buying and selling should be the same. There should be no manufacturing or production of the product. This is a trading template. Okay, if you need other guidance, look at our support section on our YouTube channel where we post videos based on user feedback.